On September 2nd, 2020, John Boyega did an interview with British GQ. In this interview, he shared his experience and his thoughts and frustrations with the character of Finn. And then on September 9th, 2020, Daisy Ridley did an interview on Jimmy Kimmel where she basically 100% confirmed that the sequels had little to no planning. Ever since The Rise of Skywalker came out, the sequels have been bashed on non-stop, and I was really holding out and hoping the legacy of the sequels would be something better than what we're seeing and hearing right now. But after these two events that happened only a matter of days between them, it is painfully clear, even though I love Force Awakens and Last Jedi, the sequels were a bloody mess. You get yourself involved in projects and you're not necessarily going to like everything. But what I would say to Disney is do not bring out a black character, market them to be much more important in the franchise than they are, and then have them pushed to the side. Many people have been using this term, but the character of Finn is straight up clickbait. They market him to be something so much greater, but then he just got reduced to...
Ray! Where's Ray?
Ray, I never told you! Ray, come on!
Like, you guys knew what to do with Daisy Ridley, you knew what to do with Adam Driver, he says, you knew what to do with these other people when it came to Kelly Marie Tran and John Boyega, you know, F all. Now he's talking about something much deeper and much bigger than Star Wars, but still extremely important. There's been a very bad trend of people of color being in movies and shows, and their characters being reduced to either one-note characters or just being pushed on the sideline. But the companies and movies and shows that hire them can still show them off like a trophy. Look how woke we are. We have a person of color in our cast, but we don't have a character for them. But now going back to Star Wars and kind of segueing into the other clip, this just shows a lack of planning. Finn is the definition of wasted potential. They set him up to be literally one of the most interesting characters in all of Star Wars. A rogue stormtrooper who is force sensitive. They have a brilliant actor playing this character, and if they did it right, the character of Finn could have gone on to be an icon in the same way black characters like Black Panther are. But instead, we have great and riveting character moments like... Once again, this all comes back to the lack of planning, and now we get into the Daisy Ridley interview.
Have you been keeping Ray's secret from the beginning? Did you know about the parentage? Like, tell me about that journey of when you found out.
No. At the beginning, there was toying with like an Obi-Wan connection, and then it really went to that she was no one. And then it came to episode 9, and JJ pitched me the film and was like, oh yeah, Palpatine's granddaddy. And I was like, awesome. And then 2 weeks later, he was like, oh, we're not sure. So it kept changing. So then even I was filming and I wasn't sure what the answer was going to be.
Now let's get the obvious out of the way. We all knew to some extent that this was true, that there was very little planning when it came to these movies, but hearing it come from Daisy Ridley, Rey herself, whole different story. In the beginning, there was an Obi-Wan connection, which honestly, personal opinion, thank God they did not do that. I know Obi-Wan had a love interest being Satine, and he even says that he would leave the Jedi Order for her, but it's very clear that relationship was a thing of the past and nothing else happened, and she died. And then the part that drives me crazy, JJ pitched her the film and it was gonna be she is related to Palpatine, and then 2 weeks later, they changed the idea. Of course, in the end, she is Palpatine's granddaughter, but the fact that with 2 weeks, they changed the idea? As a Star Wars fan and as just a lover of good movies and someone who absolutely adores Force Awakens and Last Jedi, this hurts. I mean, I always knew this was the case, but hearing it just be facts at this point that the planning and treatment of this trilogy was so poorly. It's disappointing. I love Star Wars, and when you're handling a property so important to so many, is treated with just a little bit more respect. And I get stuff will change, some of the best movie quotes are improv. I get all of that, but the lack of planning, lack of direction, lack of communication is so embarrassing for Star Wars. The CW superhero shows, which aren't the best in quality, are 10 times better planned out than the sequel trilogy. I've seen this question floating around. It's basically, if you could go back in time and have Rian Johnson not direct The Last Jedi and only have a J.J. Abrams trilogy, would you have that happen, Last Jedi fans? Yes, I would. Don't get me wrong, once again, love Last Jedi, love Rian Johnson, but all I want from Star Wars movies is consistency and a game plan. And the one final thing I want to talk about in this video is the idea of canon. There is kind of two different camps of canon. There is the Lucas canon, it is episodes 1 through 6, that is Lucas's story. And then there's the Disney canon. Disney is in charge of Star Wars, whether you or I like it or not, they're in charge of Star Wars right now. Once you start cherry picking from Disney canon, that becomes head canon. But I am totally on board with just looking at Lucas canon, episodes 1 through 6, and Clone Wars. I am cool with that. The sequel trilogy is undeniably a part of Disney canon, but it is not a part of Lucas canon, and you know what? I am okay with being on that bandwagon. They're not canon in Lucas canon. Lucas canon will always be 1 through 6, and Legends books if you want to count that, and the Clone Wars. Okay, that's pretty much all I have to say on this matter. I know that this news broke like a couple weeks ago, and I'm a couple weeks late, but I feel like this is a very timely criticism, so I have no rush to put it out when it came out. This isn't something like a casting announcement of like when it comes out, you have to talk about it right away or people are not going to care. This criticism and this problem with the sequel trilogy will be there forever. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts about this whole situation in the comment section down below. That is like our for today, guys. I will see you in the next video. May the Force be with you.